Hello and welcome to the video. In this video we're going to take a look at this thing here. This is the new frame from Out of the Box Innovations and it's called the VLX230c. Now as you can see, it's a frame that has vertical arms similar to what we've already seen, but there are two versions of this. This one's actually designed for the Connex equipment, so the Connex transmitter and things goes in the top, and then all of these arms are vertical. And the nice strong motor mounts here, the arms are just over 4mm carbon fibre, and the frame seems very well put together. Now we're going to do a build with this thing over the next couple of weeks to actually see how it goes together, because we've already looked at a frame that has vertical arms and we did a build with a Seriously Pro Neo on it. But the nice thing about this one is it does have room internally to fit all of those components. It arrives like this in this packet. So there's all the information, and on the back here you can see that you've got the links to the manual and other bits and pieces as well. And then all the components are in this plastic bag. Now we've had frames recently that have come beautifully packaged in lots and lots of layers of foam, and although I do like that, that of course does affect the price. Now this is retailing for about, I think it's about $79 to $80 at the moment. So it isn't a cheap frame, but it has a couple of cute things. So the first thing is that the frame itself is designed to work with the Connex ProSight system, the HD FPV bits and pieces that we've been looking for a good frame for ages. The challenge with the Connex bits and pieces is that the transmitter and the antenna in particular are very big. And if you look at the base plate at the bottom of the screen, there is the mounting for that very big large T-shaped antenna that you have to use with the Connex system, so that's kind of out the way. The top plate has some cute little places to mount the antennas, and then the two plates to the right hand side are those pieces that will hold not only the Connex camera but also hold the Connex transmitter as well, and you get a little bag of bits and the battery strap and other pieces too. So wanted to just draw your attention to this if you were interested in frames with vertical arms. There's a couple of comments on the build and review of the previous frames that we've looked at with some of the challenges with those frames, and this one seems to have addressed a couple of them, i.e. specifically there's no need for additional external wires or tension cables that potentially could get you hung up on a branch in a tree or a bush if you're doing close-in FPV work around shrubbery, and it also allows you to mount your power distribution board and your flight controller inside the frame itself, out the way of all of the damage. So if you do have a tumble, then it's going to hopefully be out of harm's way. So join me in a couple of weeks. We're getting the motors, ESCs, flight controller and bits and pieces together to go with this, and we'll do a complete build. I'll put a link in the description if you want to have a look at it in advance, but this is definitely one of those frames that when we saw it, we had to get one in to see what it was like, but we'll see what it builds like and what it flies like. Thank you for taking the time to watch that video. We try and release at least 2 videos a week, usually a quick tip on a Tuesday and a more in-depth video on a Friday, and sometimes we manage to get a few more out as well. If you're interested in radio control, then the playlists are useful to have a look at. Anything that's called Introduction To is an organised set of videos that teach you from first principles about the subject that you're interested in. But we also have information about the majority of popular open source flight controllers, how to build quadcopters, fixed wing models, reviews, setups, unboxing, all kinds of things in here as well. So if you haven't already had a look at the playlist, then I'd recommend going have a look through here to see if there's anything that takes your fancy. Finally, we do also provide updates through things like Twitter, Instagram, and also post all of our 3D designs on Thingiverse as well. So if you like what we're doing here on YouTube, have a look at those things and subscribe to us there, and you'll find out what we're up to in advance of the videos coming out here on the channel.